Welcome, sir. Good morning.
Morning, teacher.
Please park your Corona outside of the room, okay? Toyota Corona not allowed in the room. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning, teacher.
Very good to see you today. But a little bit of patience.
Yes.
I think everybody must protect oneself first. If you have Toyota Corona, please parking outside of the room. Not allowed to park in the rooms, okay?
Yeah.
Because now everybody is scared of the Toyota Corona.
Teacher,
Yes.
do you want to donate to students the maths?
The map.
How to get?
You can order in Lazada.
Oh, I see.
Walk one.
Because the Chinese embassy also in Rachada Road. Because of that, I think now scared to everybody around the world, not just in Thailand or in our neighbor country, because every country now seems to have equal to share for the coronavirus.
Teacher, I heard from the news,
Yes.
Chinese people over 5 million come to Thailand before they close the country.
Oh,
Mostly they come into Bangkok.
yeah, I am. Many numbers of them are coming to Bangkok because the governments, they are welcome to every country, especially for the tourists. But due to according to the news, they say the one who responsibility for this news, they retire from the duty because they somehow giving the fake news to many countries in China about this situation. This situation, maybe they didn't report exactly what number the people get affected to the coronavirus. But when the central government came to know, and they got report only some number, maybe because of that, the one who's have been taking responsibility, take the spirit of retire oneself from the duty. That means maybe the news is true, I think. But what happened about this situation? I think we turn back to our duty, mean Buddhist meditation. What is given us about these situations of the news and these situations of the world. If we studying seriously about the Tipitaka, anyone remember the one man, his name Dukkha? Yeah, Mr. Dukkha. And later on he became a in Kosambi. Do you remember his name? Yeah. In Tipitaka, about his historical background, about the plague, about the same situations of today. But due to those days in Tipitaka have said about historical backgrounds of these kinds of disease taken place in one part of histories of Mr. Kosambi or Mr. Kosaka. His name is Kosaka Billion. He's a billionaire. And he have taken or he have received the bill or the treasures from both family. From the family of millionaire of his wife and from the millionaires of his stepfather. About this story told us that not just only in this situation, the plague or the kinds of virus is taking place again and again, uncountable. And I think not just only human beings, probably other beings also get suffering because of these kinds of disease. But according to the Mr. Kosaka, the millionaire, happened to him in this lifetime, in the times of Lord Buddha. Should we start with the millionaire before we go through our again Pali of Buddhist meditation? We have chanting last class on page number 7. I think we could take it to share about the Buddhist meditation because of this, I think Buddhism is occurring to not just only human being. That means Buddhism was born not just only for Buddhists, but for every being. It's not just only human being, even gods and men. If we take this opportunity to learn about the situation, what's occurring in Tipitaka, that means the Theravada Tipitaka have record about the historical backgrounds of the Mr. Kosaka. Because of this, the Buddhist meditation, that is only parts of Eightfold Noble Path, is mentioned by Lord Buddha that this is, and we are chanting last week on the page number 7, Ekayano ayam bhikkhave makho sattanam visutthiya soka pari devanam samadhi Samatikkamaya Dukkha Domanassanam Ardhangamaya Nayasa Adhikkamaya Nibbanasa Satchikiriya Yadidam Jattaro Satipatthana. This is to mention by Lord Buddha to prove that all beings are not go beyond this. Not just only human beings, even the gods and goddess in the God's realm not go beyond this. Why? They may not suffer because of kinds of disease according to the environment of the being in this planet. But they also get more affection from their disease. Even the world uncount that This is deceit. What are deceit according to this Satipatthana Sutta? That means the deceit that burning being every minute. That means every breathing in and breathing out. Or even other beings no need breathing, they also still suffer. For example, gods and goddesses are existing in the God throne. If they are overcome by this domanassa, dukkha, domanassanam, attangamaya, nayasa, atikamaya. If they are not reached to the atikamaya, nibbanasa, they are not able to make satchakiriya, yatidam, chattaro, satipatthana. If they are not reached to this, they are overcome by dukkha. They may not have the physical body, but they still have domanassa. Yeah, they have domanassanam, they have soka, parideva, and dukkha. They may not have suffering in the body, but their minds are burning. Their minds are virus every state of being. Doesn't matter up to the Brahmin's God, Rome. Except the one who is not going to suffer by these kinds of the deceit, only the one who is had been in the state of mind in the Nibbana. Even the Lord Buddha himself, his suffering because of his physical body was attacked by the deceit. What are deceit that attacks to the Lord Buddha? Due to the Lord Buddha has been for several previous lives been done so many, some are good, some are even good. He feel like very appreciate to some of his family got hunted the other being, for example a fish or other kinds of being for food. The Lord Buddha has been appreciate to that, but that's repaid to him even the last breath of his life on bed at Kushinagar. That's to prove that even the Lord Buddha, no exception, for the sufferings of the physical body, doesn't matter who they are. Even the gods and goddesses, even the highest of being, for example, the Lord Buddha, still suffer because of this is the fruitions of the action. How many actions exist in the Buddhism? How many actions are occurring according to the teachings of Lord Buddha? Anyone recognize? The actions are we can say like 8 or we can say like 3. Oh, what are 3? Very good. Kayagam, Vajigam, and Manogam. Due to the previous life of Lord Buddha or previous lives of any being cannot go or could not go without these 3 actions. Because of that, any being, doesn't matter who they are, the highest ones of billions of universe as physicals of Lord Buddha still suffer. That's to prove about the Ekayano Ayang Dikave Makho Sattanam Visatiya Soka Paridevanam Samatikamaya Dukkha Dukkha Domanasanam Attang Kamaya Nai Yayasa Adhikamaya Nibbanasa Satchakiriya Yaditam Chattaro Satipatthana. If without this, one means anyone never go beyond this suffering. Have mentioned some in commentary have said that if anyone have a thought that, thought is one of the Eightfold Noble Path, what number? The right thought. What number are in Eightfold Noble Path? Samma Sankappa. Very good. Samma Sankappa. If without the Samma Sankappa, one never go beyond these kinds of suffering. Even though, and the Lord Buddha have mentioned in, I forgot the sutta, we call the 11 of fire. Do you remember 11 of fire? Very good. Thank you for your good memory. The 11 fires start from Rakaki. That means the fire are Raka. And what does a Raka mean? Raka means Lobha. Or even if we compare to the lives of Lord Buddha, when he renounced the world, renounce the world? Renounce the world, that means he left the palace, right? When he was 29 years old, he left the palace, means he left the kingdom. And where he has been to ordain is after crossing the river of Anomanadi. Then he renounced the world, means he ordained himself by taking his sword, the very knife sword, and cut his hair. Most of the Indians those days, they are long hair, right? And then he cut his hair and he renounced the world that from now he's going to be as the sannyasi. Those days they call sannyasi. What is meaning sannyasi? Sannyasi means the one who is not lived in the house, or the one who not lived in the family or householder, right? He left the householder, means he left the palace. When he left the palace, then he renounced the world. That means what made him to renounce the world, as mentioned in the Tipitaka, according to the historical backgrounds of Lord Buddha's life. I think he was born, but the people who may have no opportunity to learn about his life may not know, but according to our Buddhist, we learn sin the previous life. But most of the people in this world, very few people, especially for the other belief, not Buddhism, they didn't know, they didn't trust that the life is another life. That according to the Eightfold Noble Path, that we can say, or is mentioned in Tipitaka, that is wrong view, right? If the one who is just believe, oh, life is no more going on, no more before, no more previous life, or no more going on with the next life, no other beings in the other universe, no the other beings or the planets like this. That means that one is mentioned by Lord Buddha that he is called wrong view. Wrong view means mithyaทิฏฐิ. And we cannot say to the other believe if they don't believe, right? Don't talk to the other who not believe. Even the one who is believe still hard for us to convince them and to really believe in the teachings of Buddha. But that's not wrong, because even the Lord Buddha himself that Buddhism is not religious just to be believed. But due to the teachings of Lord Buddha, Buddhism is the religion that to practice. But how many Buddhists have opportunity to practice according to the Eightfold Noble Path? Even ourselves. I don't know the other, but for I myself, since 1976 or something, when I was ordained to become a Buddhist novice. Even I have been studying the Dhamma, but it's still not just enough, just 3 months, you know. And that's why I have mentioned for a few weeks ago that I share you the experience of practicing meditation. I was so much, even now I'm still so much sympathetic to all Buddhists, especially for one who never have this experience. How about the other who have no experience? We cannot convince, we cannot give them. You must believe. No, we can't say that. We can't say that, because Buddhism is not just religious, just only to believe, but the religion of Buddhism is just a teaching that experienced by enlightenment by the Lord Buddha. When the Buddhism is not just only religion that enlightenment by the Lord Buddha, and it's hard for us to convince anyone to believe. That's why even just only the sutta we are taken for this semester, Buddhist Meditation 6. We almost sick. We almost sick. Means sickness. We are sickness. Why we are sickness? Because most of the teachers, they took only their own experience and teach to the other. They not really bring the Buddhist student or the Buddhist learning or Sutta Buddha direct to the Buddha. That's why I'm admiring for the universities of MCU to put on the subject of Satipatthana Sutta or Mahasatipatthana Sutta for the student to go on direct to the teachings of Lord Buddha through the teaching of Lord Buddha that believe in the world, whole parts of the world that Theravada Buddhism have record in Tipitaka is the most original one. But we're not going to complain to the other belief. But even in Theravada Buddhism itself, very hard to focus on any masters who can concentrate to the real teachings of Lord Buddha. But I'm sorry also for I myself took part of my experience and say to you at the first day about my experience of practicing. I didn't mean that I wanted you to follow me, but due to even I myself, since 1976 or something, I've been practicing in meditation, but up to even before I finished my PhD in India, I still believe that that is the right way. That is only the way. Even I've been studying continuously, not going to the other way, because my expectation is that I must gain again in that peaceful of mind and very blissness of meditation in that moment, without realizing that is attachment to the greedy. When you have more greedy to get things, then you will never get. This is very strange in the technical way of practicing in Buddhism. I think the normal people may be able to gain this enlightenment. Only special people who has been practicing and training oneself again and again and again. That's why the Lord Buddha has been collecting for 4 Asankhya and 100,000 of kappa before he gained enlightenment, before or after he has been fortuned and been predicted by the Buddha's name Tipitaka. That is this wonder, not so easy. But now, so many things to prove about the teachings of Buddha. Just only Satipatthana Sutta or Mahasatipatthana Sutta, we can learn and experience oneself to know exactly how will you practice in Buddhist meditation. It's not just because of that way or this way, but billion ways.